Is mortgages, mortgage leads, lending, that whole industry a good niche for Rankin? We're going to be covering that on this video today, guys. If you haven't already, you need to check out my other video on real estate. Is real estate a good niche? And a lot of the things that I share in that video are also going to be applicable to this video. And I'm going to share, there's going to be a little bit of overlap that I'm going to talk about, but guys, I would highly, highly, highly recommend watching the video on is real estate a good niche, because these two industries do go hand in hand. As always, guys, I'm going to start off by telling you this is actually, man, I almost forgot that I haven't actually done rank and rent, the rank and rent model in this industry. However, I have done a bit of a variation where I had a friend, this person does mortgages, but not the traditional mortgages. They do the reverse mortgages. And they said, hey, can you get me leads? And guys, this is a common thing that we hear because we all have so many friends that are mortgage brokers, that are real estate agents, whatever. And you're having a conversation at church or at the barbecue or at the swimming pool, at the gym. Hey, sounds interesting what you do. Can you get me leads? And you're like, man, I would love to. And they always say the same thing. I'm paying $5,000 to this company and I hate it, but I got to do it because I got to get something. And you're sitting there and you see dollar signs. You go, oh my gosh, if I could just get leads for this industry. It's the same thing with real estate. But I had a specific friend and good guy. His name's Trevor. Still friends to this day, but he came to me, same thing. We had a conversation. He said, can you get me leads? And I started looking at it. And first and foremost, I realized right away, this was a very, very, very competitive industry, but it was also a very sticky industry. And there's a lot of legal aspects that go into this. You got to be very careful about what you advertise and what you say and who you're representing. And so I knew right away that even doing it, I was going to have to completely brand this as his. I was going to have to completely use his licensing and his this and his that. And it wasn't really going to be the rank and rent model, the generic website. We own it. We control it. No branding. Come get a quote, et cetera. It's going to be a much different type of project. But I was young in my rank and rent career. And I said, hey, what the heck? Let me try it out. If nothing else, I'm going to use his money to get an education. I brought a partner in on this deal, and we basically did a landing page with all of his branding, all of his logos, and all the rest. And we ran Google Ads. And this is the partner I brought in was like Google Ads expert, had done this for massive national companies. This wasn't a newcomer to the game. We weren't running smart campaigns. We were doing this legit. We spent lots of time on the landing page, which again, this kind of goes outside of the traditional rank and rent, because for us to fully make this a rank and rent project, we would have had to then rank the website. And that was a complete just cut. Oh man, it was competitive. But the thing that gave us a little bit of hope is it was reverse mortgages. And as you guys know, as I've talked about with roofing and HVAC and some of these really highly competitive niches, if you go sub niche, then you have a much better shot. So the thing that gave me a little bit of hope was the fact that it was reverse mortgages, not mortgages. Anyway, we ran this thing. I think we had a $3,000 per month budget, guys. And this is in a city with 100,000 population. At the time, even less. And we got our asses kicked. And to be fair, I told Trevor up front, I said, hey, I've never done it to this industry. It's a completely different beast. He said, I know, I get it. There's legal, there's this, there's that. He's like, I'm totally understanding. And if it weren't for him and how laid back, I wouldn't have even done it. We did it. We got our asses handed to us. And that was with his branding. That was with an expert in ads. Now, if we would have built a website, ranked it with his branding, the whole deal, could it have changed? I truly believe that the organic traffic is always better than paid ad traffic because you're getting a more, in my opinion, educated buyer. However, imagine if we hadn't used the rent then rank strategy. If we hadn't run ads and I had said to the guy, hey, let me get a little bit of $500,000 from you. And then once we rank, then we'll talk about doing a deal together, or you'll pay me X amount for every lead or whatever the case. I would have been ranking probably to this day. Guys, this is a very, very, very competitive industry. Now, would he have been willing to spend big budgets? Of course. Would he have been willing to spend a lot per lead if I wanted to go that model? Of course. Is this a niche where if you can figure it out, there are customers on customers on customers on customers? Yes. But in a similar fashion and for similar reasons that I don't like the real estate niche, this is a very brand driven industry, right? This is something where everybody kind of knows that guy or that gal that's the biggest in town, that's the person to work for in town. And if it's not them, it's the company that they work for, right? A lot of times we have the buddy we had the girlfriend, and it's like, hey, they're great, but the company they work for does not have the product that we need, and so we can't really use them, right? So there's a lot of that. I already talked about it's very, very competitive. There's a lot of legality to it, and then guys, this is just not the way that people do this. In my most recent property that I bought, exact same thing. I found the house first, and then of course there was a listing agent on it, and I worked through them, and then I said, okay, who should I use? And I shopped it around a bit. I said, who's good? I need this specific product because I want to do a cash out refi, blah 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 blah. And that's going to be a different mortgage lender than if I was going to do a 20% down or this type of loan. It's just a sticky mess. And as I've said from the beginning, whether you're doing solar, whether you're doing roofing, whether you're doing any niche, whether you're doing microdermabrasion or Botox, which I probably should be doing, I'm just kidding. It will work at some level. To some extent, it will work because this model it will work for any niche. It will work. The question is, how well will it work compared to how much time, how much effort, how much energy you put in, and you got to look about opportunity cost. What if you put that same energy, attention, time, resources, all the rest into concrete? Could you, in that same amount of time, done 5 deals, 6 deals, 10 deals? Put it into spray foam, put it into masonry, whatever the case is. And so we have to consider all these factors. The only caveat to this, guys, is if you are somebody that has a mortgage company and you're looking to generate leads, I still would say that you're probably going to be better off going through Facebook. Go and learn Facebook ads. I think that's more of a Facebook play anyway. But if I did own a mortgage brokerage, or that would make me more interested. But if I was just a mortgage broker and I worked at a brokerage and I didn't own it and I was just another cog in the wheel, then I may consider building a website and trying to do SEO. But guys, then what happens if I want to trade companies? If I'm just a mortgage broker working for a company, what if I decide to trade companies? I built all of my stuff around this specific company because I want to rank for this specific brand. Now all of a sudden I can't use it. And so there's all these different factors that go into play. I am not even close to considering doing this again. If you are listening to this right now and you're a mortgage guy or mortgage gal and you're like, I was just going to get into this industry to get leads for myself, go to Facebook. It's going to be a much better play. I'm out on this niche. My 2 cents from my one experience doing it, but looking at the logical aspect and just being intuitive, I don't think this is a good niche. That's my thoughts.